What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Rose from NASCAR on MDK. Welcome back to the episode of Inside Lines. Tonight's episode will more or less be a truck preview for tonight's SpeedCash.com 400 from the Texas Motor Speedway. We have 7 stories to talk about here, so let's get right into it with our first story, which is kind of a sad one, but Mark Miles, who is the CEO of Holman and Company, said in a statement that regarding the NASCAR/IndyCar doubleheader is more or less a long shot. Mark Miles said in a statement yesterday, I believe he said, quote, "I am not opposed to it, but I don't know if I feel like there's a lot of momentum behind it." Miles told IndyStar, "It's certainly not a new idea. I haven't had any direct conversations with NASCAR about it recently, so we're not any closer to getting it done than we were previously. I think making it happen is a bit of a long shot." And I mean, if that's the case, then fine. I really, to be honest, I don't think before NASCAR can look on working with other motorsport companies, I feel like NASCAR should fix itself, because there's a lot of issues with NASCAR right now, and maybe right now is not the best timing. Kind of disappointing also, to say the least, you know, because I mean, a lot of us thought that this would be a lot closer than expected. Like, we thought we might have a deal already by 2021 to have a doubleheader, but it looks like we might have to wait a bit longer than that. Now on to the Truck Series news. The first one, obviously it's the most important one. Greg Biffle returns to the NASCAR Gander Outdoor Truck Series for the first time since 2004, I believe. He will be competing in Kyle Busch's number 51 Toyota Tundra truck. The last time Biffle competed in NASCAR was back at Homestead in 2016 for the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. Now, even though he has the last time he's been in the car, or in a truck I should say, since 2004, and really his stats are not meaningless, but take it with a grain of salt, I guess you could say. He has 1 win in his 5 stars in a truck car at Texas, that being in 2000. He has scored 3 top 10s and 3 top 5s and 3 top 10s with an average start of 9.0 and an average finish of 10.6. So he's got a pretty good track record in terms of trucks at Texas, but again, he's last been in the car since 2004. But anyway, it's still fun regardless. Our next story revolves around the Truck Series team, Kyle Busch Motorsports, and them announcing that they're going to have a crew chief change lineup for this weekend, or for tonight's Texas event. Marcus Richmond will move over to the number 46 truck to guide with Riley Herbst at Iowa and Chandler Smith at Worldwide Technology Center, or Technology Raceway, or otherwise known as Gateway. Wes Ward will serve as an interim crew chief for Ty Gillen this weekend at Texas, and Michael Shelton, who was previously the crew chief for the 46 car when they would run a limited schedule, will be the crew chief for Ty Gillen for Gateway and Iowa. Now, tonight's race at Texas Motor Speedway is one of 3 races that's part of the Triple Truck Challenge that was promoted by Marcus Lemonis, who is the CEO of Gander Outdoors. 3 races will take place this weekend this race at Texas, at Iowa, and also at Worldwide Technology Raceway, otherwise known as Gateway. Race winners earn a $50,000 bonus if they win one of those 3 tracks. If they win 2 of the 3 tracks, they earn $150,000, and if one driver wins all 3 races, they win a grand total of $500,000. This is overall just a great way to sort of promote the Truck Series. Matt Crafton did point out in an interview that this would be the most money, or most amount of money, that he would be chasing for. $500,000 is a lot, especially in the Truck Series. So nice for Marcus Lemonis, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and Gander Outdoors to promote this thing, to make it produce more stakes for the Truck Series. And yeah, hopefully provides even harder racing, and $500,000, even though it might not be much for Cup, for trucks that's like $1 million. So yeah, hopefully we should see some great racing of drivers trying to fight for those $500,000. Now, one thing that we're going to be looking forward to heading into tonight's event at Texas is Kyle Busch Motorsports. We talked about earlier on how there is a crew chief change, but really the whole organization itself is in need of a kick, so to speak. Kyle Busch has publicly stated in previous interviews that he basically said his truck team is, you know, garbage. I don't want to say the word, but I'll use it safe word. It's garbage. It's a 2 out of 10 team. He has said that they need to step up. They need to win races and equipment that they can obviously win races in. For example, Kyle Busch, he won, I think, 4 or 5 races he has entered in his own equipment. So obviously you can go to victory lane in Kyle Busch's equipment. Harrison Burton, on the other hand, as well as Todd Gilliland, they have not performed up to Kyle Busch's standards, and rightfully so. Harrison Burton has only 4 top 10s and 6 top 11 finishes in the first 8 races of the season, and he's out of the championship hunt. He's currently 9th on the board, and the person that holds the final spot is his teammate Todd Gilliland. He's 8th in points right now, and he has only scored 4 top 10s in 8 races this season. So KBM really needs to get, well, I wouldn't say really need KBM as a whole, but more or less the drivers. I also think, the drivers, they were really young. Let them grow a bit. Let them, give them some time. Thing is, they had a really good races the previous year. I mean, Todd Gilliland came so close to winning race. I remember, I think it was a Canadian Time Motorsports Park. It was one example until Gregson decided to be an idiot and wreck him. He had an opportunity to win there. Texas, I think, was 1 or 2 laps to go. He had an issue with the car. I think he blew an engine or something like that. But he has had many chances to win races. Just something didn't go his way. Burton has been running very strong in the past. Just for some reason, so they do have talent. They can go out there and run well. It's just some reason for this year they just not have a grasp at this truck season, at this truck organization. So it'll be interesting to see if they can be able to sort of rebound and showcase what Kyle Busch Motorsports is capable of. But this weekend at Texas might not be the answer, and this is just going to be based off of practice stats. There have been 3 practice sessions. Todd Gilliland was 12th fastest in first practice, 5th fastest in second, and 4th fastest in third. Harrison Burton, on the other hand, was 15th fastest in first practice and 8th fastest in second and third. Qualifying will take place later today around 5:30ish or so. So they don't have the top, they don't have the best cars, but they're just meh. They're just there around the top 10 or so. And obviously, for Kyle Busch standards, that is way below expectations. You need to be in the top 5. You need to be winning races, contending for a championship. So again, it'll be interesting to see how Texas plays out for them and for the rest of the season, because August is not, I think it's August or September when the playoff starts. It's not that far away. So they need to really get their stuff together, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out today in Texas. Now, this story comes from Ross Chastain. We talked about it earlier in the show around, I think it was on Tuesday, I want to say. We talked about on how Ross Chastain declares that he will now be switching from Xfinity to now truck points for the championship. As we pointed out, he will be starting from 0. So that Kansas win didn't count, and all the races before Texas, those don't count as well, which on one side, I don't think that's right, because he did participate in those races. It's not like, he just decided just magically it's not like he did just 3 races and that's it. No, he ran every single race in the entire truck season. So to take all away his points, I don't know. I'm not too, I'm not really a fan of that. I feel like if he ran every single race, and he wants to, I feel like maybe he should at least keep the points. Like, if you're gonna run every single race of the season, I feel like you should be able to keep the points. But whatever. I said this on Tuesday. I had no idea that you could even switch points mid-season. I thought as soon as you declare who you want to run with at the start of the season, that's it. I had no idea you could make a switch like that. Some people say, could this maybe open the door for even more potential changes, like maybe more drivers switching year round, like, hey, I'm doing better at Xfinity, I'll switch from Cup to Xfinity. I don't see that happening, because cases like the one Ross Chastain is in is very rare. The thing is, when he started at Xfinity, he was gonna be with Ganassi. That's why a lot of people forget. Why did he go with Xfinity? Because he was running with Ganassi before all that whole DC Solar fiasco. So he had no idea that, DC was going to crumble and he was going to lose his ride. So that's why he picked with Xfinity. He also had no idea how probably Nice Motorsports and their equipment would be running this good. Really, all of us had no idea how that Nice Motorsports would be running this good. Ross Chastain has exceeded everybody's expectations, finished in the top 10 in all 8 races so far, won at Kansas, like I said. And yeah, so he's gonna have to win a race and be in the top 20 in points in the next 8 races. That I don't know if he can win. The good thing is that there will be no Cup drivers, and at least no Kyle Busch, so that's good. But I don't know, if he can win a race, that'll be fantastic, and it'll just show how stupid this playoff format is. The fact that you could miss, you could really start from 0 in 8 races and still have a shot at the championship. It's, well, ridiculous. We're not going to get into it really, but yeah, hopefully Chastain can go for the cup, win a race, and lock himself into the playoffs. It'll be fun to see him try and race his way in these next 8 races. And finally, give me an update on some practice sessions regarding tonight's SpeedCash.com 400. The first 3 practice sessions were dominated by Thorsport Motorsports, or Thorsport Racing, I should say. Ben Rhodes was first fastest in the first practice session, and Johnny Sauter was fastest in second and third practice. Sauter was also second fastest in first practice. Grant Enfinger, their teammate, was third fastest in first practice and second fastest in second and third practice. So really, Thorsport, they have got it covered, it seems like, at Texas, and that is not what the competition needs. Johnny Sauter, he's already locked into the playoffs, already has 12 playoff points, and if he has another good run, that's just going to build more of a gap between him and the rest of the field as they hunt for the championships. And also, just to point out, as you see in these pictures right now, 2 drivers that suffered heavy damage to the back end of their trucks. The first one is Stuart Friesen. He hit the back end on the right side of his truck, I believe, in practice 2, so he would have to go to a backup car for tonight's event, as well as Ben Rhodes, who I mentioned earlier, was fastest in first practice. He also made heavy contact with the back end of his truck. However, I'm not sure if they're going to go to a backup car or they're just going to make repairs in order to keep the original truck. Now let's take a look at the track facts for the Texas Motor Speedway. It's a 1.5 mile track located in Fort Worth, Texas. 4 turns, and lap record was set by Johnny Sauter last year in 2018 with a time of 28.608 seconds, or 188.758 miles per hour. Banking in turns 1 and 2 is 20 degrees. Banking in 3 and 4 is 24 degrees. Now, the SpeedwayCash.com 400 is now set in kilometers, 403.1 kilometers. That is still off from what it's being advertised, but whatever. 167 laps make up the difference, with stage 1 and 2 being 40 laps apiece, stage 3 being 87 laps, and the defending winner being Johnny Sauter. So with that, let's take a look at the playoff grid following Charlotte Motor Speedway. It'll be the first time the Truck Series will be on track since that May event. Johnny Sauter and Austin Hill are still the only 2 drivers locked into the playoffs. Sauter with 12 playoff points, Austin Hill with 9. Grant Enfinger, the first one out, with 7, or at least the first one without a win, 79 points above the cut line. Stuart Friesen in 4th, 64 points above the cut line. Brett Moffitt in 5th, 46 points. Ben Rhodes, 6th, 45 points. His teammate Matt Crafton, 42 points. And a final transfer spot goes to Todd Gilliland, 1 point above his teammate Harrison Burton, who is in 9th. Sheldon Creed in 10th, 34 points below. Tyler Dipple in 11th, 88 points below the cut line. And his teammate Spencer Boyd, 108 points below the cut line. Now let's take a look at the truck races, or at least the truck sessions that'll be taking place later today. Now this video might come out a bit later than 5:30. I'll try my best to get it out as soon as possible, but 5:35 p.m. Eastern time will be Truck Series qualifying on NASCAR.com, and then later that night, on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time on FS1, will be the SpeedyCash.com 400. Temperature looks absolutely beautiful for racing. It's 79 degrees, clear, nothing, just a high percentage of humidity, around 64 degrees, but really just 100% chance of racing today. But that concludes this NASCAR Gander Outdoor Truck Series preview show, or sort of preview show. If you guys want me to do more of these Xfinity and Truck Series editions of Inside Lines, I'll happily do them. Just let me know in the comment section down below. Tell me, who do you think is gonna win tonight's truck event? I am going with Thorsport Motorsports, or Thorsport Racing, and Johnny Sauter. I think he's gonna get, I think this will be his 3rd or maybe 4th win of the season. I'm not sure. I think this will be his 3rd win if he wins here tonight, but that's what I'm going for in today's truck event. I won't be doing a Cup Series show due to I have other stuff going on, and I'm just so far behind and I don't have time to just really catch up. I don't want to shove everything in, just, you know, work on the NASCAR and MDK pre-race show for the Michigan, and then I'll do news and updates, stuff like that on Monday. So yeah, that'll be it for me. I will see you guys on Sunday for the NASCAR and MDK pre-race show from Michigan National Speedway. But until next time, I'm Jake Ross from NASCAR on MDK, and I'll see you guys in the next video.